Please welcome Heidi, the host of Unleashed with Heidi.
Well, hello, good evening. It is a late night. I'm going to keep this quick, but I get to introduce an amazing speaker tonight. You know, one of the most incredibly unexpected outcomes when I ran for governor last year was how much closer I grew to God. I met with pastors across the state of all denominations and all sizes of congregations. I visited close to 100 churches on the campaign trail on various Sundays, encouraging them to speak out and vote their values. It was such a blessing. I was reminded of how powerful our faith can be when all seems lost. And America is lost right now. Colorado is lost right now. Our beautiful state has been labeled one of the least religious states in America. Only a third of Coloradans say religion is important in their daily lives. Can you imagine the difference in our elections if a third of adults in Colorado voted our Christian values? Can you imagine? We would win every election. 1 in 3 Christians nationally do not vote consistently. 1 in 3. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it is really cooperating with it." It is time for Christians to stand up, to enter the battle. War is being waged on our children, our lands, our future. I think back to the campaign trail, to a night when Danny, my lieutenant governor candidate, and I met with a very influential Denver pastor and his wife for dinner. They were open about their hesitation to support us, as they were traditionally staunch Democrats and well-known Democrats. However, they also weren't happy with Jared Polis in the direction of our state. As dinner wrapped up, I turned to the pastor's wife, who was lovely, but she'd been mostly pretty quiet during the dinner. And I asked for her thoughts on our conversation. And she said that it would be very difficult to support Danny and I, as she believed it was a woman's right to have an abortion at any time during her pregnancy. My heart literally sank. I couldn't believe what I'd heard. Here was a very powerful pastor's wife saying she supports a baby being aborted up until their birth date. That was unbelievable. I still can't understand how she squares that with God, especially as a leader in the faith community. We must always choose to be on the right side of God versus the right side of politics, even if we lose elections because of it. And it is time to stop the lie that talking about politics as a Christian or as a pastor is not okay. We heard that over and over from churches all over Colorado that were not willing to let us speak or come visit their church. My previous pastor of over 10 years from one of the largest church communities in Colorado kept avoiding getting together during the governor's race. He preached weekly to his large congregation to get involved, not to sit on the sidelines, to fight the attacks, to fight the woke stuff, but he wouldn't return my calls. The church plays such a critical role in the culture of a nation, especially America, a nation founded on faith. Silence is not an option right now. In Colorado, abortion until a baby's birth date is celebrated. In Colorado, our schools are teaching children that parents are not to be trusted, that government is God, and sexual deviance is king. In Colorado, drugs are replacing faith. Suicide and addiction are skyrocketing, and we are moving farther and farther away from the one thing that works to heal brokenness: God. Christians have forgotten the power of our faith when we come together. If 64% of voters in Colorado are Christians, that's 2.8 million of the 4.4 million registered voters. Only 2 million voted in the governor's race, or maybe 2.5, I can't remember. I've blocked it from my memory. That number wins elections all day long, though. 2.8 million voting in the state of Colorado wins elections. Christians in Colorado, hear me online and in this audience, you have the power to single-handedly return our state to the beautiful place it was by just showing up to vote. We are asleep. Wake up, my friends. Get loud. Run into that fire and fear not. We have God on our side. We also have an amazing man, Eric Metaxas, on our side. I so admire how bold and outspoken Eric is about the importance of the church in shaping our country right now. His best-selling books, his speeches, his radio show, his commitment to waking up the faith community is just awe-inspiring. I am honored to introduce one of the nation's most brilliant warriors right now. Eric, you are doing such a great service to our country. Thank you, and welcome to the Conservative Summit.
Please welcome the host of the Eric Metaxas Show, Eric Metaxas.
Well, you know, with women like that in Colorado, I would have hope. I have to tell you, just an honor to know Heidi